So in this video, I wanted to talk about what it's really like to learn code. As new programmers, we tend to have an idea of what it's like to learn code. We look at senior developers or full stack developers and we think to ourselves, how did this guy learn all these skills required to do such a task? Maybe they built a crazy application or they did something that you really want to do. And as I've progressed, learning full stack development and starting my software business, I've realized more and more that the perception that we have of learning code is completely wrong. And so here's what I mean, right? So let's say we have the first side, let's just say the basic view. So this is what every person tends to think, right? When we look at a full stack developer or someone, let's say a senior developer, right? We think to themselves that they are naturally talented, right? We may also think that they have tons of experience. And we also tend to think that they got to where they are in one day. And by one day, I simply mean like when we are trying to learn code, right? Let's say we're trying to learn full stack development, like we talked about earlier. And we think to ourselves that it will take us maybe 8-9 months to be that full stack developer. But that one day, on month 9 or month 8, at that one day, we will be a full stack developer. And I'm going to tell you something, this is completely wrong. And this is what 99% of developers think today. And this is what's holding you back from being the developer that you are. And this is what held me back from being a better developer. However, I want to change that for you. And a reality check for a lot of us is this. And firstly, okay, although it does require some talent to learn to code, have you ever really thought about what the word talent means? Talent means that we are simply good at a skill, right? How do we get good at a skill? We just do it more until we stop sucking at that thing, right? And so firstly, realizing that a coder, though may have some natural talents like the, 99 percentile of developers, maybe like Mark Zuckerberg, most of us can learn the things that people ahead of us can learn. And another thing I've noticed in at least my coding journey thus far is that it's not that one day, like we talked about here, that we will eventually get to be a full stack developer, for example. This means full stack developer, okay? Like I'm just saying, okay, let's say you're like a new developer. This is you right here. It's not like you will one day all of a sudden, after maybe 9 months of coding, be this full stack developer. You have to go through a series of steps to eventually get to your full stack developer role. For example, let's say firstly, you will need to learn like HTML, right? Then you need to learn CSS, JavaScript, React, backend, whatever, you know what I mean. And simply checking these off, learning these skills day after day, day after day, will eventually get to this end goal. But it came as a result of checking off each of these skills off of your so-called full stack development checkoff list or whatever. And I guess the main point I'm trying to get at here is that learning code as a whole, at least from what I've noticed after a year of programming, is not something that you will in one day get. A full stack developer or a backend developer, whatever that thing is for you, it's not one thing. It's a series of things that makes that person a developer. Like I'm friends with a very, very popular coding YouTuber, and he is a senior developer, and I look at him and I'm like, this guy knows so much more than me. And it's not because he has the title of senior developer. It's because he has a bunch of different little skills that he learned along these 6-7 years that he's been coding to make him a senior developer. Now I'm actually going to erase this because we're getting way out of hand, but this is a really good thing because everything here is within our control. We don't have to be a genius. We don't have to be an expert. We just have to be willing to learn every day and do it as much as possible. That's all I did to learn code, and it's all you need to learn to code. You don't need to invest $4,000 into a boot camp or think of yourself as this top mathematician. Just sit down, learn the skills required to get to your goal, and you will eventually reach that goal. And if you don't know something, then just learn it. It's really not that difficult. Like I've talked about this earlier, but I am learning data structures and algorithms because I don't know it. And I need to learn this if I want to be a top senior developer. I'm trying to be a better developer. And knowing data structures and algorithms and knowing deeper level concepts like software architecture, whatever it may be, is required for me to get to that end goal. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. But if you want like a full roadmap of everything I did to become a full stack developer, then I will leave that in the description below. It's absolutely free. Like you don't even have to pay for it. And also if you want to join the free developer Discord group where we have like 600 members, which is freaking crazy. Like it's amazing. We have everything in there from job opportunities to people helping each other out, especially like the new programmers. If you're like a new programmer, you will love it because you can ask questions to older programmers, interact with people, and just have fun. Like we're even working on open source projects. But yeah, happy coding. You got this. Check off each thing at a time and you will eventually get to your goals. You just have to realize that it's a series of things, not just one thing. Okay? Happy coding, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.